Thousands of people will share £4 million compensation from HSBC after a 13-year campaign by a whistleblower. The Financial Conduct Authority announced on Friday that solicitors for two loan firms, which HSBC now owns, wrongly added charges to customer bills when they tried to recover debts from them. Customers of the finance companies HFC Bank and John Lewis Financial Services who were affected will be contacted by HSBC starting next month. Well, the whistleblower, whose relentless lobbying and complaints to and about the Financial Conduct Authority they led to this deal, is Nicholas Wilson. I asked him if he was pleased with it.
Moderately. I'm pleased it's been recognised that there was something wrong, but the £4 million is a nonsense figure.
Why do you say that?
Well, it doesn't bear any relation to the true figure. I mean, I've always estimated the total amount involved was £1 billion, but bearing in mind that this has been going on for over 30 years before HSBC bought HFC Bank.
Yeah, so you think that this 6,700 is simply wrong?
Yeah, there should be two noughts at the end of it. Although, I mean, realistically, I can't expect the bank to go back 30 years.
Well, I was going to ask you that too, because this is limited to people between these charges over a 7-year period, 2003 to 2009.
HSBC limited to that because that was their period that they bought HFC Bank in 2003.
So it's not unreasonable in a way for HSBC to say, well, we're doing this voluntarily, we're only going to go back to when we actually owned the company involved.
So they've always said it's historical HFC. It's not. HSBC wrote to all their customers and said, we now have taken over HFC Bank. All your payments must come to us. So if all the payments go to them, then all the liabilities go to them too.
And let's look at the figure. So it's about £600. Now, interest is paid on that, so that includes the interest.
Yeah.
And I worked out on average for that period, that means the overcharge is only reckoned to be about £320.
It's nonsense. From my records, when I was a few years back, I was trying to contact people to help them, and the people I did make contact with who sent me their details, the average charge was £1,500.
What was wrong with adding on this standard charge to everybody's bill? Because if you are in debt, you normally do get charges added on, don't you?
Well, say it was, to make it simple, £1,000 debt, and they added £164 to that. If the debtor agreed to pay £100 a month, the solicitors would keep £50 and then send £50 to the bank, and that would go on every month until the solicitors recovered all their costs. Now, if the debtor said, I can't pay £1,000, I can pay £500, then the solicitors would get 16.4% of the £500, so that their fees were relative to how much they recovered. That's illegal.
The cut-off date of 2003 we discussed, but what about the cut-off date of 2009? The FCA tells me that these charges were not added after 2009. Do you think that's right?
Well, I've got a copy of the claim form from 2010 with the charges added on. So
now, you're familiar with a lot of this detail. Just remind listeners how you know all this.
I used to be head of debt recovery at Waitman's. My name is on some of the summonses, but I kept complaining. On Twitter I'm known as Mr. Ethical, and I kept complaining to the partners in charge, and they called me Mr. Ethical because I wasn't prepared to do the work. Eventually I refused to do it, and I then reported them to the Law Society, and they sacked me. And my life's been hell ever since.
What has this cost you personally?
Everything. I lost my job. I sold my house in London, moved down to Hastings to try and save costs, but I haven't been able to work since. I've done 2 consultancy jobs at solicitors, short term. But apart from that, in over 10 years, I haven't had a job since, and I can't find a job as a dustman or a call centre worker or anything.
So if somebody writes, and I've spoken to HSBC about this, and they said, well, if anybody thinks they're owed money, they should contact us. If somebody contacts HSBC, which would be the first step?
No, they should contact me, Paul.
If they send stuff to you, you're going to make a charge because this is a business.
Oh, I'm going to be working with a financial advisor. There'll probably be claims managers all over this.
Nicholas Wilson on his 13-year battle. Well, HSBC wouldn't be interviewed, nor would the Financial Conduct Authority. One of the solicitors involved, Reston's, wouldn't comment at all. Waitman's told Moneybox that Nicholas Wilson's claims, which related to events while he was employed there, and the manner of his departure, are entirely without merit. The Financial Conduct Authority told me it had conducted a thorough review of the files. 6,700 was the correct number. The way the compensation was worked out used an agreed methodology, but it wouldn't publish it. HSBC told me it's confident it can find and contact the customers involved. That process will start in about a month, and there will be a helpline. It also said it would consider claims from other people who thought they had an unlawful charge added. And we'll follow what happens with that on Moneybox. And now,